Alright, Christmas has come and went, and like I promised, I was going to get that f600 tow truck fired up. But I got tired last night, decided to polish my shaft, and fell asleep. I woke up today and found it was snowing. So I got all the tools out, now they're covered in snow. So the game plan to getting this fired up is going to be pretty simple. I yanked a set of points from that Mercury, and I think I'm going to yank the battery cable from it, because while this end is fine, this end is fucked. Pretty sure this solenoid is garbage too. So we're going to have to figure out battery. Oh, don't worry about the snow going down the intake. It likes it. Yeah, so we're going to have to get a solenoid setup going on this. That shouldn't be too bad. I have the diesel here because I anticipate needing to jump it. With how long that thing is sat, I don't anticipate it to be an easy start. Now, it did run, so I don't doubt that it won't. Nice, juicy, and fully charged. Well, you're helping me today, boy. No, I don't think it matters how many times I've done it. Carrying batteries through the yard always sucks. Alright, we'll stick you up here. Oh yeah, your tools love being submerged in water. Oh, that's stupid. Alright. Well, step one, we got to get that apart. I got some 1/2-inch wrenches over here. Before I go getting something big and destroying shit, let's start off small. Oh, God. And this is a good reason not to leave your tools out the night before. That and my hands are absolutely freezing. I was going to try to get this started last night, but the battery that was in here was already pretty low, so I made an attempt to jump it with the truck, and the solenoid started glowing red, and at that point, I kept going till the solenoid got stuck, and when I went to get the video footage to upload as a part 1, the camera didn't save any of it. So unfortunately, you guys don't get to see me sitting out here for an hour, dicking around with a half-dead battery, burning up all my work truck diesel. On the upside, now you get to see me do the exact same thing I was doing last night. Lucky me. Yeah, I don't know if this solenoid's going to be any good anymore, but here, I'll just put that over there. I don't know if you could tell. That may be a little bent. I did only melt the shit out of that. I mean, it was glowing cherry. If I can find the video, I'll put it up. But yeah, I don't imagine it was too happy with me. So let's go steal parts off that Mercury. I think those bolts are 3/8. Because this Mercury, I'm pulling the motor out of it, and my buddy, who I'm trading a truck for this Mercury, he's getting the body. He wants he doesn't know, but he's getting the interior and everything out of it, because I bought this when I thought I was keeping that. It's got a 2-barrel 390. As far as that goes, it's nothing special. It's about a 250 horse, which is really only like a 200 horse 390. It's a C6 trans, which is fine, but I have enough automatics in my life. I need more manuals. And believe it or not, this one is not mouse infested. The car is okay. The frame is shot. It is fucking done. This frame probably took a shit about 40 years ago. and it should not be on the road. Even by my standards, this is a little too sketchy. I didn't want to put new tires on it because it was just going to be a parts vehicle. So I ended up driving it home at 25 miles an hour the whole way, which wouldn't be too bad if it wasn't like 80 miles from my house where I found it. But hey, it's neither here nor there. Alright, here it is. Now, luckily, Ford just pushes these right into the sheet metal, so they're not hard to get out. But yeah, no, the interior of this one wasn't bad, and that really doesn't have much of an interior, so to speak. So, see, is this an original Motorcraft? It might, well, I don't know if that's writing or not. I don't know, I'm sure there's some genius on the internet. It's an older part, which means it's better. We'll grab one of those screws. The holes that are in that truck's sheet metal are pretty well fucked. And I want to grab the battery cable that was off this. These actually are not terrible battery cables. They're half decent. They're better. Where the fuck did that dog go? Ranger! They're better if, you know, you consistently drive the vehicle and the batteries are fully charged and you don't let it get stuck with snow and ice over last winter and your starter's in good shape. They're fine. Now, if you're a derelict like me who maintains his shit about as well as most people maintain their marriages, yeah, they're probably not great, but they're cheap. You can get them for like $1.50 at Walmart. So I like them because of that. What's not to like about a starter cable? It's only $1.50. Yeah, those look a little wallered out. Let's see, is this gonna have any bite? Well, actually it might. Alright. That's a pleasant little surprise. Okay. Ugh. I don't know what it looks like from your guys' angle. Hopefully it doesn't look like dog shit, but if it does, it's not my fault. It's almost 2024, and accountability is sexist, and racist, and homophobic, and whatever kind of ist or ism I can throw at the end to absolve any personal responsibility. Oh, fuck yeah. Never mind. Maybe my old screws were just fucked. Cool. And I'm sure it'll ground great to that rusty sheet metal. Alright. This is the only one we need. We're just going to jump the other one. I actually even have the proper little handheld trigger gun, but it's really unnecessary on most vehicles. Or most Fords, because Ford knew what the fuck they were doing. You can just get to the solenoid under the hood. Why bother fucking with anything else when you can just get to it under the hood? One thing I did find out last night, and I wish I had the video to show you. Like I said, if I do, I'll show it, but is that PTO was engaged the whole time. So while I was breaking this free, it was driving the main gearbox on the wrecker bed. Now, the drivetrain on this is a 330 FT into an NP435 with a Home 600 wrecker bed and 633 rear gears. It's a high-low. I think the low is like 5 or 859, something like that. I'll put all the shit up. But long story short, it's a goodie. It's plenty of torque for low speed operation. I never got this truck up to speed because the biggest issue with this truck, minus that fucking battery cable, the biggest issue I had with this truck was the brakes. Now, even though that master cylinder is rusty as hell on the outside, that is a brand new Centric master cylinder. And this isn't sponsored, but I do like Centric parts. In general, I've had good results from them, and they're one of the few people who still makes riveted brake shoes. And call me old-fashioned, but I prefer positive attachments on my brake shoes. But that's a brand new master. I've got brand new wheel cylinders on it, brand new everything except for a booster. Because these hydrovac, or no. Is it hydrovac? These vacuum boosters aren't like your traditional Ford pickup. They live under the driver's seat area. Get in backwards. Live under the driver's seat area. And are just about giant. They're like a foot in diameter. Maybe 18 inches. They're pretty big. And they work fine. Keyword being fine. They're not great brakes, but they won't kill you either. I know some people hate them. That's fine. Some people are stupid. They work fine. They stop it. They make conversion kits to use like the Hydro Boost off of the Power Stroke and off my International in there, since that's parts. I considered taking the brake system off of that and putting it on here. But then I got to change out hubs because this has got Bud style rims and that's got Dayton's. And I could do it, I just don't really want to right now. But more importantly, it needs to be up and moving. Not that this engine is going to be what I use to tow. This engine's getting pulled out and replaced. It's going to get that 352 that's in there. That's actually rebuilt. I'll get into that story when I start pulling it. But it's going to get that 352. And while that 352 is in here, the 390 that's in that Mercury down there, that's parts, is going to be getting built for the application. You know, stump pulling power. It's never going to see above 3,000 RPM, maybe 3,200. But, you know, consistently it's never going to be above 3 grand. It's going to be a low, powerful puller. We're going to put some 488 low-high gears in there, because what is the gears I've got that I want to put in that axle are 488s high and 679 low. But I'm getting fucking distracted talking about shit. I got actually, you know, as much as I enjoy dicking around, I do actual work and know what the fuck I'm doing for the most part. So, let's actually do work. Unless you guys just want to see me suffer in the snowy cold, which, to be fair, I wouldn't blame you. I enjoy watching people suffer. Like, well, I'm sure if you're watching my channel, you know who he is, but Peg, Zip Ties and Bias Plies, my neighbor to the north, he's fucking awesome. Ugh. I can't say he's fully inspired me to do this, but him, and then not having any money, and then being fucked over by my mortgage company and fucked over by everybody else, more or less inspired me to start this, because, A, if I'm going to go down, I'm going down in flames, and B, I mean, why not? If people want to see me work on my stuff and tell other people that they're stupid idiots who need to learn to shut the fuck up because they don't know their ass from the hole in the ground, then I'll fucking do it. You know, bring it on, keyboard warriors. I could hit you a hell of a lot harder with my truck than you could hit me with that fucking plastic keyboard. All right. I was using this push rod last night. Okay, it's still smoking like a motherfucker. Yeah, that starter's not good. But it's fine. It's a water-cooled solenoid. We'll just have to keep the temperature in check. Don't want to melt it. Let's, The only thing I want to do is confirm we got some firepower. Hard to tell if we have firepower if it's just chugging. Yeah, those are as reasonably tight as I could ask them to be. Well, one valve isn't closing because I can see it puff up through the intake. Or the valve is broken. This was charging all night. So, I got two options. I can change that starter out. I'm not changing that starter out. Or I can just feed it all the volts and melt this solenoid too. I think you know which one I'm going to do. Hey, guess what? Here's a special. You get 2 pieces. You get to see this whore cold start. And it's not. It's going to need the spray. Spray time. Ah, fuck. Still getting used to this thing hanging off of my head. This is going to be up. This one's going to be angry. This thing does not like cold starting. That's when it's not plugged in. I am holding it to the floor right now. Yeah, 15 volts is safe, right? Yeah, 15 volts is safe. Fast idle stick. Because, you know, if it was a real work truck, if the fucking idle control doesn't work anymore. And it's not because of the parking brake. That pedal is stuck to the ground. Yeah, it's good enough. I think these are 0 gauge or 2 gauge cables. Either way, they should be enough. It's cold. Oh, someone came running. Oh, that almost sounded like I wanted to fire. If we can get some coughing and spitting off starting fluid, I'll actually mount that carburetor. It was a good carburetor. Now I gotta get one of my scrapers. Actually, the best gasket scraper I ever found was a cheap plastic little deal from Stanley. It didn't take special razor blades. It took, you know, your conventional dirty old razor blade. It was easy on the hand. You didn't have to hold it. Here it is. You didn't have to hold this sucker at any weird ass angles to make it work. This thing just fucking worked. It's a little dirty. Is that blade still sharp? The blade's still sharp. I think the last time I used this I was doing the differential on the diesel. So it's a little greasy, but I mean, grease is a petroleum derivative, so it'll burn. I may or may not have been doing burnouts in this. It's hard to tell from this side, but if we come over here, it's a little more obvious. Maybe if I buy a mount, I give you guys some burnout footage. I don't know, let me know if you guys want to see me do some burnouts on dry rotted bias plies. And if I were doing this one-handed holding my phone like my earlier video, I don't worry about that little bit that went down the intake, paper burns. If I was doing this one-handed, fuck, I wouldn't be able to do it with the one razor blade. I'd have to shut the camera off for that. And I have a feeling that the people who watch this kind of enjoy my suffering, which is fine. You fucking animals. I mean, to be fair, most of it's self-inflicted. Well, this isn't. Why are you idling down? I'll kick your ass. Alright, as far as how I'm going to mount it, we need a gasket. And I have 3 out of the 4 original screws holding the adapter. When I was doing burnouts, I might have left these on the hood area of that truck, and it's somewhere in the snow. So unfortunately, yeah, we only have 3, but 3 out of 4 is 75%. That's still passing.